What is up, y'all? Bro Fist. Welcome back to Unspecified Podcast and Review. You guys, I'm so happy to be back with you guys. Thank you so much to the mods for all that you guys help us keeping the place clean. What's up?
What's up?
It's good to be back with friends. You guys are the best. You guys.
What's up, Amber? What's up, A Minute Detail? Hey, MLP. What's up, Dopey Dude? I don't even know how to say Thorn. Exo Thorn.
Thorn. I'm just gonna Thorn. What's up, dude? Thorn, Dopey Dude. Amber. What's up? MLP in the house. A Minute Detail, brother. Thank you so much for being here, man. M Gotti. What's up? It's got to be Gotti, not Gotti. Anywho, we got a lot of news to get into. I'm sure you guys know about the T-Man situation in Mar-a-Lago. Lot to catch up on. Apparently, the rainwater can't drink it anywhere.
That's right.
I don't know. We'll get into everything. And China. China. I can't do it as great as Trump can do it. But anyway, what's up? Thanks for showing up. Thanks for clicking on the video. Let's hop into this.
Back in the day, it was like protests and BLM. That was every day, always.
And then they got into the White House.
Now it's China.
China.
Okay.
All right. Into the meat grinder. Okay. China needs 2 million soldiers to invade Taiwan and could be devastated, just like Putin's failing Russians in Ukraine. Okay, but don't get it twisted. There's 100,000 North Koreans going to Ukraine.
Right.
More than likely.
Okay. Well, I haven't kept a look. I've kind of just put that to the side because I understand that I'm not going to get the full story from the media. So I'm not really interested in the half-truth that they're selling me. So I haven't really kept up with it a lot other than, I know that the nuclear plant got hit or shelled, I should say.
In the Ukraine, yeah.
So I won't say too much about that, but the last I had heard, that was not what I was under the impression. I thought that Russia was actually doing kind of well. So I don't know. Maybe I guess
it depends on who you're listening to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Taiwan starts live fire artillery drills days after recent China exercises. Okay, and then you got this whole thing, and they say it right here. It's in your face. Okay, this is about striking fear.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, China's Taiwan drills the new normal, analysts say.
Do you think that that'll be the case?
It's like cracking a whip.
Right.
Okay. Close flyovers, missile flyovers. But look.
Because Taiwan is doing drills now.
Communist Party forces are deployed around the island for massive war games, which are believed to be rehearsals for an invasion.
Seriously. Can you imagine tensions this high, like during World War I, and everybody's like, we're going to do a dress rehearsal, guys. Nope, it's totally fine.
Nope.
We just want to see what it would be like if we were to seize your island. Just sit here, everything's fine, don't move, and it'll be over soon.
Says China would need 2 million soldiers to take over Taiwan, and the invasion would not be easy.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, Chinese warships to rehearse sinking submarines, U.S. submarines, in latest drills near Taiwan fueling World War III
I'm gonna
fears.
admit, I take that personally.
What?
That is personally offensive to me. You're gonna rehearse sinking a U.S. submarine? No, sir. That is rude.
What's so wrong? What?
That is rude.
Okay. Well, if you don't know, we've been seeing information coming out of China. They have mock U.S. Naval fleets in the desert of China. China has some desertous region towards the north or the northwest, I think. Anywho, they've been practicing all kinds of different weaponry.
And the fact that it has to so I understand that each country kind of sort of has their own each country has their own kind of submarine mechanics, if you will, or every country that has submarines, that is. So I understand, but labeling it, I don't know, it feels the equivalent of when people used to go to politicians' house with dummies that they would
Oh, you mean back in the day?
Yeah.
Tar and feather.
But they would make their dummies look like the person's house they were going to, and that's what this feels like. Like the whatever submarine they're practicing on is the dummy.
Chinese warships are set to rehearse sinking U.S. submarines in their latest military drills near Taiwan amid the continuing tensions. Despite being scheduled to wrap up yesterday, Beijing has announced their theatric shows of strength aren't over yet. So they about to keep it up. And that's kind of how this kind of, well, I mean, that's what this is it's escalation.
Right.
And that's how this goes. They, how do you say, I'm scatterbrained right now. Sorry, guys, we're getting over something in the house. So, China pushes because they're like, hey, actually, you're ours. And then
Right.
Taiwan pushes back,
No,
maybe
we're not.
a little too hard, or China pushes back, maybe a little too hard.
Right,
And
so it's
one
just
way or
gonna be-
another, that's all you're waiting for is who's going to push back too hard. And
one drill after another drill, and then the U.S. will do, because don't forget that the U.S. and I believe Japan and there was a few countries involved. It may have been Australia. I don't remember. I'll have to look it up. But we just got off.
That's right. That's right. Months back, we did a show showing
Rim of the Pacific exercise. Rim of the
Not
Pacific
even months back.
2022. Yeah,
Not
no,
even
it
months
just
back.
ended
That's right.
like a week ago.
just like they practice those lockdowns and everything.
That's right.
And on a small scale, Event 201, all the world's leaders got
Right.
together and practiced what it would look like if we went into some kind of pandemic. And then all of a sudden, what happened?
Come to think of it, we may not even be out of it yet because remember they were postponing that final missile test. Remember they were going to do one more.
Oh yeah, the U.S. has
test.
postponed an
and they
ICBM.
Postpone it.
That's right.
So that they wouldn't, we wouldn't ruffle any feathers. So I don't know if we're technically still in our, war games as well.
I have no idea. At this point, I think, look, I'm not terrified of China. I know that I don't underestimate anyone. Okay, but what I'm saying is that most of the people that I'm listening to are saying that basically like China can't even take over Taiwan.
Right.
Okay. So I'm definitely not immediately worried about, China in a physical invasion sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But could we successfully back them up
Well.
without moving in?
Right.
Like big time in Taiwan?
Golly.
It was already sketchy to send
Yeah.
one person there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, this just kind of seems like it was built to be a catalyst for an eventual,
Because get the
Same thing with
logistic-
Ukraine. The Ukraine also seems like a catalyst situation. So, and you guys in the comments, you guys said the whole time we were reviewing all this Rim of the Pacific, Ukraine starting off.
Right.
That-
Thank you, MLP. MLP says Japanese, Australia, India, and I forget the other country known as the Quad. Thank you.
Right. That's right. In the wise words of advice from John Lovell, don't shoot first.
That's right.
That's right.
I love John Lovell.
Yeah, me too, man.
We are big Warrior Poet fans. If y'all don't know Warrior Poet, go head over there. Good Christian man and family, funny and
Ghost
and,
Navy, like the ghost cities, right?
Right.
I wonder whatever happened with those ghost cities.
How worried are you about the situation in Taiwan? Because China is kind of keeping a bit of a grip around the whole island now.
I'm not worried, but I'm concerned that they're moving as much as they are. But I don't think they're going to do anything more.
He said, I'm not worried, okay, but I'm a little concerned they're moving as much as they are. But I think they're going to be good. I don't think they're going to do anything. Okay, so if this dude is saying that he's not worried, you should be okay.
Yeah,
that you should probably be worried.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not an expert by any means, but
I think that was an attempt at a diplomatic answer. I'm not worried.
how do I
so
get in
we're
as little
tough,
trouble as possible?
but I am paying attention, so I am a little concerned, but I'm not worried because I don't want to look weak, but I am concerned, which I'm willing to bet that worried and concerned.
Right. I
are
won't say I'm
synonyms.
blind to the possibility that this
Right.
could be horrible.
Right.
How worried are you about the situation in Taiwan? Because China is kind of keeping a bit of a grip around the whole island now.
I'm not worried, but I'm concerned that they're moving as much as they are. But I don't think they're going to do anything more.
Can you share with the live move as a speaker to go to Taiwan?
That was her decision. Thank
Are
you.
you saying anything long this month?
Man, I turned that helicopter into a heli RV.
A helicamper?
A
No, I think
helicamper.
that they're using a different model these days, but me and Tiff watched a video about some heavy lift helicopter from Vietnam back in the 70s.
That's right.
Winnebago was going to start making helicampers.
Uh-huh.
Or I can't ever say that.
Helicampers.
Helicamper.
Because it doesn't flow off of your tongue.
Helicamper.
But that would be so cool. I
Yeah.
want a helicamper. And I would even leave it green. Look, I'll take hand-me-downs.
Well, that's what they all were. They were all supposedly recommissioned. Anyway.
But can you imagine that? You're like vacationing in the helicopter that was like traumatic in the war or something, you know? It's a little touch insensitive. But I get it. You don't have to be offended if you don't look to be.
Right. So, let's see here. Nothing good. Just
Man.
a little dose of World War III propaganda.
I gotta be careful because I'm like a parrot. I want to repeat things. So I'm like, huh? But I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it because I don't know what they said.
It's not the Chinook. It's crap. It's not a Chinook. It's not the Chinook is dual prop. It had two props on it.
It wasn't even
was
that fancy.
No,
it's
it
the
was
novelty.
Yeah, it has a rotary engine in the nose. I forget the name. Something 55 and something 78. There's two. One's bigger, one's littler. And they're kind of beefy looking. I'm sorry, I don't remember all that.
Yeah, I was like,
it's from a video. We didn't plan on talking. I don't know why we're talking about the doggone RVs.
Because I was looking at his.
I don't have anything to show.
I was looking at his Air Force One helicopter.
Yeah, they
whatever.
changed it. They recently, not recently, but you know, it's not exactly that anymore.
Right. Like I would totally. You could renovate that. I would get Chip and Joanna Gaines to come and redo it.
Who is that?
They're on HGTV. They just redo all these houses into chic, beautiful things. Anyway, I digress. Continue.
Okay. Celtic Mutt, you've forced me. I'm gonna have to look it up. It's not the Huey. It's
You got Winnebago.
Helicamper I don't know how to spell Winnebago.
Please stand by.
Yeah, sorry.
We need to have one of those please stand by screens from like the 50s, you know?
No. Okay.
There she is.
Yeah. I just have to find
There she be.
something on it.
Yes.
I can't find
There,
the name.
Winnebago, 1970 down. There you go, right there.
This is, well, for some reason they won't. This is what we're talking about. There's a YouTube video where a guy goes into how this almost became a thing. So it's not really a Huey and it's not really a Chinook, but it's something else, and I can't remember. Back in 1977, fewer than 10 were made. It was really just a promotional piece by Winnebago, but
Right.
they got these two guys that built them to build them one or two, and they were like, yeah, we got this whole business plan. We'll start selling helicampers. And the guys bought it, and they were building them, but turned out Winnebago didn't really care about.
Yeah, I wish it was all a ploy, but I wish I had one of those 10. Wait, I want to see the inside of it now. Okay, now picture this. You know, it's like, it's not the best, but now picture being able to fly into wherever you want.
But the reason we brought it up is because I think Tiff saw one of the president helicopters.
Yeah.
And during like Ronald Reagan years, this used to be I forget what you call it, Air Force Two or something. I don't know, the helicopter for the president. But I think they changed that, or they've upgraded them or something.
I'm sure.
But I don't even know the name of them.
How awesome
I've been
is
trying
that?
to scan for the name and I can't. They're like something 55 and something 78. One is bigger and one is smaller.
I don't trust helicopters, but if I did, that would be absolutely the way to go. Anyway.
Why do you not trust helicopters?
Well, because, you know, Kobe Bryant died in one, I think. And then one attacked these two kids on a movie set with this guy, too, one time back in the day. I don't know. They seem more unreliable than regular airplanes.
Just Google or YouTube Winnebago helicopter,
That's
and
right.
there's a really good video on it.
This is awesome.
So they're like, no, we're going to go harder now. You know what I mean?
Right,
These
right.
drills, this is the new normal for you. Okay? So they're like, you
So
know.
is it going to be tit for tat? So China did a drill, Taiwan does a drill. Are we going to go back? China's doing another drill, or is what U.S. going to do?
And you
a
know
drill?
what? China needs to practice now. They're going to practice sinking U.S.
Best part about the drills is everybody's already kind of semi on standby. But
China has now said its forces will carry out live fire, anti-submarine, and sea raid drills from Monday without giving a precise end date. And don't forget, they've quit talking with the White House. No more talking to the White House. There's a lot of people not talking to the White House, like what happened down in Florida last night. And supposedly, it's an investigation that has nothing to do with the executive office. So apparently, they don't need to. That's its own.
there you go.
So check this out. Ukraine, Russia point fingers over nuclear power plant damage. So they're both like, nuh-uh.
You
No,
did it,
and
nuh-uh.
look, I'm not going to give what I think about it because you guys aren't going to like what I think about it. I'm
Yeah.
going to be quite honest with you because I don't trust never one. I don't
Right.
trust none of them.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So who I believe necessarily did this, and not that it's really my business. This didn't happen in my country, but
Right.
You'll see.
That's right.
Any attack to a nuclear plant is a suicidal thing, and I hope that those attacks will end. And at the same time, I hope that the IAEA will be able to have access to the plant and to exercise its mandate competencies.
Yeah, that guy was just giving like the real life equivalent of that Michael Jordan gif, Stop it. Get some help.
It's
You know,
suicidal,
like-
y'all attacking these dead gum.
Stop it.
Don't even matter which one you did.
Ukraine and Russia, stop it. Get some help.
Hemiram, what's up, dude? One worker was injured.
Yeah.
Okay. But as far as how this kind of went down, guys,
Today, the occupiers created another extremely risky situation for everyone in Europe. They fired at Zaporizhzhia MPP. This is the largest nuclear power plant on our continent. Okay, well, he's speaking too fast.
I know they speak very fast.
Anyway, something to the gist of this is an open, brazen crime and act of terror. Continue.
Ukraine is such a violent and deadly war zone that another Hollywood actress could casually head over for a photo op.
I was thinking that exact thing when I saw this come out. I was like, I love this actress, but what the hell? How'd you get there? Like, how did you get there? Was there some secret tunnel that took you there? Or the Russians just let that airplane in, no problem.
Yeah.
Eh? They're like, hey,
Right.
don't shoot that one, okay? We need this photo op. It'll make it look better.
It's
more
all
better.
good until you ask what that weird symbol stands for. You know what I mean?
And
Anyway.
then she's like super duper down. Oh, is that like out of respect?
What do you mean?
Well, there's black.
Oh, yeah. Well, like on a mission. Also notice the red bracelet.
Mm.
Which is a certain, you go do your
And
research.
he's all in green.
Always. Dude's always wearing green. That same military drab color. Just like almost every time I
Right.
see him.
Because he's like trying to give off like tactical vibes, I feel like.
Thorne says biting tongue. Please.
I think he really misses the beginning when everybody was talking about how big his huevos were.
Huevos. China, Taiwan news. Taiwan official found dead as China accused of attack simulation.
This is a really bad time.
Yeah, it's a really,
This is as bad of a bad time to die as Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Or
Ginsburg.
Sorry,
Ginsburg.
Ginsburg.
I don't know her last name. According to that CBS documentary, a large percentage of arms that we sent over there are MIA. You don't say, oh, Did you hear about the Israeli and Palestine blaming a failed misfired death on opposing forces rather than a failed missile launch?
No, but we had been keeping up with the missile strikes and
between Palestine and Israel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us not all forget he started out as an actor.
Celtic, that's a good point.
I would even go so far as to say a comedian. And then if you think about Watchmen, you know, like the comedian is kind of what started the whole
thing.
The whole kit and caboodle. I'm sure that's reaching
Thank
too
you,
far, but
MLP, any actor that goes over, they are, who assets to me. No reason to go over there than to get intel or launder money.
Right.
Whoa, good point. Good point. A top Taiwanese defense ministry official was found dead on Saturday as the self-governing territory accused China of carrying out a simulated attack. With the country's warships and planes conducting missions in the Taiwan Strait, Aoyang Li Sing, the deputy head of the Taiwan Defense Ministry's Research and Development Unit, died from a heart attack on Saturday in his hotel room, reported state media. Man, dang, that's I can feel it. I relate.
I do too. But look, look. Can't certain things cause heart attack? Just because you had a heart attack doesn't mean I don't suspect foul play. You know what I mean? They have blow darts that can cause heart attacks, or in medicines, or sprinkle dust. I'm sure. I don't know.
That's very true, Thorne. I find it strange that a city that is besieged with bombings had live feeds showing packed beaches, cafes, and restaurants.
That's right.
The room had no signs of intrusion, and his family had a history of heart disease, said the official central news agency. My goodness.
Right, they sure had a list of validations, didn't they?
Meanwhile, the defense ministry tweeted on Saturday that multiple Chinese craft conducted missions in the Taiwan Strait, with some crossing the median line, which is an unofficial buffer separating the two sides, in what it sees as a possible simulated attack. And that gave him, so do you think the heart attack is their fault?
I don't know.
It's just a bad time to be having.
I don't know. We're in a sad state when somebody has a heart attack.
I just gotta say though, you can look it up. It says in the book that in those days that men's heart would fail them from fear.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely be strong and courageous and push out negative thoughts. You got to pray them away immediately. I know.
That's right.
For sure. A lot of folks are going through it. You know what I mean? Especially with everything how it is right now, falling under attack is easy, backsliding is easy. And, especially, you got to be on your P's and Q's, especially if you're doing good. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because, anywho, I don't know how we started talking about that. Let's see. This is about striking fear.
That's right.
Okay.
Yep.
China's Taiwan drills the new normal. All right.
Let's say
China's military drills targeting Taiwan have set a new normal and are likely to regularize similar armed exercises off the coast or even more aggressive action much closer to the island, analysts have said. After that, it's just going to be conditioning for you guys.
How much closer to the island
eventually
can you
people
get?
are going to stop listening to news about attacks that don't do anything. So this is all about getting people to not care because people have at least in America, the attention span of a squirrel. Thanks TikTok, another Chinese device that has, because all they got to do is get people bored. You know what I mean? And then they'll be like, yeah, things are going bad in Ukraine, and so people stop listening.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But that's a problem. Look, we're being oversaturated right now. So what is the Bible verse? My people shall fall through lack of knowledge. Do you hear me? What is that?
That's right. Well, number one, it says in the end times that knowledge will increase.
Right.
And Jesus says that his people, I believe, will perish due to lack of knowledge.
So then is that, you know what I mean? because how many people do you know that have just black-pilled, so to speak, and turned off? And just been like, you know what? Well, look, I just admitted to it where I'm like, I don't really keep up with the Russia-Ukraine thing because I don't trust either source.
Right.
And so since I don't have a reliable place to get my news, I just don't get news. But really, that's lazy-mindedness on my part. I need to get all the news and then come up with my own conclusion. You know what I mean? And use discernment.
That's right.
To lead me on what's going on.
Right. Doing
but
your own research.
Just saying no, I'm not going to listen to it at all is a little bit lazy-minded. I shouldn't dwell on it by any means. But if you don't want it to take you like a thief in the night, I think it is important
to be a watchman.
That's right.
You are called to be a watchman in some extent. You are to be aware of the devil's new
That's
tricks
right.
and what he like. So it's it's our job to be looking at what's up, what's the enemy doing,
Right.
and then be exposing that.
That's right. Exactly.
And so that's why you see so many expose, that
Right.
You see how that kind of died off, and now you just have like us, like a more critical thinking podcast,
Right.
more or less.
Just look, here's some of the stuff we're seeing. We like to point out repetitive themes, progressions and things, and anyway, just
Look, Frank's proseptic. Just Frank. Why are they always in a hotel room? This dude passed away in a hotel room with a heart attack. And Celtic says, heart attack, Russia, anyone? Good point, man. Good point. Liza says, I've wondered the same. What's up, Liza? It's good to see you. So China's People's Liberation Army has been conducting live fire exercises and other drills in the seas around Taiwan's main island for almost a week in a purported response to the controversial visit to Taipei by the U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Beijing claims Taiwan as a province. Y'all, that's mine. It has not ruled out taking it by force and objects to any and all foreign shows of support for its sovereignty. Taiwan has accused Beijing of using Pelosi's visit as an excuse to prepare for an invasion. Is that what they're doing? Will they take Taiwan? Okay. Guys, I don't want to, I pray that they don't. I pray that things, but I'm going to be honest with you. I think Ukraine is possibly a good, you can see what might happen with Taiwan by watching what's going on with Ukraine or
That's
what
right.
happened with Ukraine.
I think that at some point it's an inevitability because whether it's, tomorrow or 2 years from now, I don't think a lot of people would deny that we are what feels like in the precursors of another world war.
That's right.
If not already silently in it.
You guys seen in the last show, where the allies and the Axis powers
Right.
are forming.
Right.
The friends are, aligning.
I'm not a doom and gloomer, but I would say that we have passed a point of it's only an inevitability. Any decisions made at this point are simply delaying, delaying things in order to perhaps, in China's case, look, they just lifted the one baby ban. Now they want as many babies as possible. You know what I mean? And well, in 15, 20 years, that's going to be a huge boost in an army.
That's
to
right.
an already very, dominating country population-wise. So just interesting things to look at, if not now, at some point, it's human nature. But I will say, I think that, you know what I mean? Like in my head, that they've been surprised at how passive people have been as a whole, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think that we're called to be, turn the other cheek. But I think that they've pushed a lot farther than they've ever been able to push historically. And I mean, they as in like both other countries as well as elites.
That's right.
They've pushed a lot
with their
further,
agendas as a
right,
whole.
Exactly. They've pushed a lot further than they've been able to historically. And I think that to an extent, maybe even they were surprised, well, typically we get pushback by now, but we'll keep going,
That's right.
know.
Yeah.
But, but we're called to be,
to a point.
Right.
To a point.
Well, as long as the laws don't interfere with God's word.
Yeah, with what God wants,
Yeah.
This is about striking fear and a sense of inevitability, okay, in Taiwanese hearts and minds, said Alessio Patalano, professor of war and strategy in East Asia at King's College London. There is, in the political messaging delivered through military means, a real risk that these more overtly aggressive steps might be normalized, whether Beijing felt it achieved anything with its drills was unclear. Some analysts said a U.S. Pentagon official said this week there was no change to their assessment that China would not try to retake Taiwan militarily in the next 2 years. So that's what the Pentagon says. Okay. According to a Guardian analysis of public data from Taiwan, China, and Japan, the PLA sent at least 140 planes into Taiwan's air defense zone during the week, including 100 over the median line, an unofficial maritime line that crosses the middle of the Taiwan Strait. The planes included fighter jets, reconnaissance planes, H-6 bombers, and refueling aircraft.
Well,
so about as much, flying flex as they could.
right. Yeah.
Ashley B, what's up? Most of my bookmarks and YouTube subscriptions are of news channels from all over the world, even in languages I don't understand. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I totally relate, though. She says, at times I feel I know more, and at times I am ignorant to facts.
Yeah.
It is impossible to know all. It is blasphemy to think man know all. That's exactly right, Eliza.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
That's right.
All we can do is think, ask for discernment, and give it to God. But no, Moving on.
Yeah, we'll move on. Okay.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Oh, yeah, so Taiwan starts live fire artillery
Right.
drills.
Well, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
A little bit of pushback. Taiwan kicked off its 2-day military exercise known as Tianlei, which can be loosely translated as Heaven's Thunder, with an hour-long live-firing drill involving more than 700 troops with 38 howitzers firing 114 shells into the waters. Well, cool. That's cool. They're like, hey. You know what I mean? Taiwan starts 2-day defensive drills as tensions with China remain high. The Heaven's Thunder maneuvers, planned months in advance, come as Beijing continues exercise around the self-governed island. Chinese state media videos and a map of live fire exercises.
Wow.
Yeah. Dozens of shells, they say. Dozens of shells. What if DC War Game maps huge toll of a future U.S.-China war over Taiwan?
What?
As China waged extensive military exercises off of Taiwan last week, a group of American defense experts in Washington was focused on their own simulation of an eventual, but for now entirely hypothetical, U.S.-China war over the island. Okay. The unofficial what if game is being conducted on the 5th floor of an office building not far from the White House, and it posits, a U.S. military response to a Chinese invasion in 2026. Mark your calendars. Even though the participants bring an American perspective, they are finding that a U.S. Taiwan victory, if there is one, could come at a huge cost. The results are showing that under most, though not all, scenarios, Taiwan can repel an invasion, said Mark Kankian, a senior advisor at the Center for Strategic and International Studies, where the war games are being held. However, the cost will be very high to the Taiwanese infrastructure and economy and to U.S. forces in the Pacific. So basically, there wouldn't be much left over.
Right.
Or there would be a lot destroyed.
Which would be bad, because then other countries, in sessions that will run through September, retired U.S. generals and Navy officers and former Pentagon officials hunch like chess players over tabletops, along with analysts from the CSIS think tank. They move forces depicted as blue and red boxes and small wooden squares over maps of the Western Pacific and Taiwan. The results will be released to the public in December. Wow. The not necessarily so assumption used in in most of the scenarios China invades Taiwan to force unification with the self-governed island, and the U.S. decides to intervene heavily with its military. Also assumed, but far from certain, Japan grants expanded rights to use U.S. bases located on its territory, while stopping short of intervening directly unless Japanese land is attacked. Nuclear weapons aren't used in the scenario, and the weapons available are based on capabilities the nations have demonstrated or have concrete plans to deploy by 2026.
China's test firing of missiles in recent days in response to U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan underscored a Chinese capability that's already assumed in the gameplay. In 18 of the 22 rounds of the game played to this point, Chinese missiles sink a large part of the U.S. and Japanese surface fleet and destroy hundreds of aircraft on the ground, according to Kansian, a former White House defense budget analyst, and retired U.S. Marine. However, Allied air and naval counterattacks hammer the exposed Chinese amphibious and surface fleet, eventually sinking about 150 ships.
MLP, yes, that's right. The U.S. has a long-standing treaty to defend Taiwan. They go to war, we are obligated to help. If not, then all countries we have treaties with are going to be like, what the?
It just reminds me of like medieval times when like a house swore an oath.
Yeah,
like,
that's right.
All right, like we swear our sword to you.
Yep.
So if you ever come under attack, we got each other. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's how it was.
So it was a big deal. Yep.
And so if you had a habit of telling folks that you would come help them, and then you didn't come help one person, then people would be like, well, you didn't come help them. Yep. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yep. And it was like a dishonor to your whole family name. Like it was you know, like you had to earn, if you were even able to, that respect back. Anyway.
The reasons for the high U.S. losses is that the United States cannot conduct a systematic campaign to take down Chinese defenses before moving in close, he said. The United States must send forces to attack the Chinese fleet, especially the amphibious ships, before establishing air or maritime superiority, he said. So, to get a sense of the scale of the losses, in our last game iteration, the United States lost over 900 fighter attack aircraft in a 4-week conflict. That's about half the Navy and Air Force inventory.
Boom. Question is, if the U.S. is now saying Taiwan is China, then is the U.S. saying we have a duty to defend China? Stuff's not adding up. Good point, MLP. Yeah, things that make you go, That's right.
All right. Well, the Chinese missile force is devastating while the inventory lasts, so U.S. submarines and bombers with long-range missiles are particularly important, he said. For the Taiwanese, anti-ship missiles are important. Surface ships and aircraft less so. Surface ships have had hard time surviving as long as the Chinese have long-range missiles available. I am not able to read. The game players haven't made any estimates so far on the number of lives that would be lost or the sweeping economic impact of such a conflict between the U.S. and China, the world's two largest economies. Taiwan's defense capabilities are an especially important part of the calculations, because its forces would be responsible for blunting and containing Chinese landings from the south, a scenario played out in the simulation. Oh, Lord. Yeah, so they would basically be responsible for, thwarting.
Minute Detail says, anyone else getting a lot of buffering all of a sudden?
Oh.
Probably.
That would make sense.
Moving on.
That would make sense. What, are we not allowed to read this?
Oh, no, we are. I just thought that was kind of... Sorry.
All right, time to get into Mar-a-Lago. Okay. So, former... you can still say President Donald
Out of the pot and into the fire.
Right.
Here we go.
If you thought we were buffering before,
Trump. Now, he just released a statement saying that FBI agents have raided his Mar-a-Lago home in Palm Beach, a move that comes as prosecutors escalate their focus on the former U.S. president's conduct. Bloomberg's Bruce Einhorn joins us for more on this. Bruce, what do we know so far?
So we know that there's a statement from former President Trump that that the FBI has conducted a raid of his home in Mar-a-Lago. Trump said that, quote, they even broke into my safe. And he added that Democrats who desperately don't want me to run for president in 2024 are mistreating him. The White House referred to the Justice Department questions about this. The Justice Department has declined to comment on Trump's statement. We know that Trump is currently in New York City at Trump Tower, so is not there in Florida at the moment. Beyond that, we don't have any additional information.
And they didn't find anything in the safe.
That's right.
So,
but, it's interesting because there was articles talking about, protesters show up at Mar-a-Lago after the raid, trying to make it seem like they were protesting Trump. But nah, they were like protesting the raid, like
right.
For at least from this what I had heard. So anyway,
Eric Trump reveals he told Donald FBI raided Mar-a-Lago. Ex-president's son claims agents ransacked his dad's office and that safe was empty, and says all DC wants to do is attack Biden's greatest threat.
Well,
yeah, that's really, I think, it's just a threat to power.
That's right.
And that's, I've heard today, all day today, that basically that this is so third world, that this is so like Banana Republic, that where have we come? This is a big wake-up call for a lot of folks.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Especially with a lot of other news that we got to get into concerning, 87,000 reasons why, okay, we should be, maybe, what's going on here, guys?
Right.
What's going on? What's this really about? What's really going on? You know what I mean?
If the world as a whole had an emoji to describe it right now, I think heathen Americans would be it. Like that's the overall vibe, I think.
They didn't get a warrant based on probable cause. The judge signed a warrant, find probable cause. Yeah. Agent with machine gun photographed outside of Mar-a-Lago. Look at that.
Superficial.
Now, I'm sure that they were let in. They didn't actually damage any.
Right.
I did hear, they did say that there is a report that they ransacked the office.
Do you think that's his profile picture now?
Oh, this guy?
Yes.
Probably. Yeah. This was the scene outside the Palm Beach Resort Mar-a-Lago, owned by the T-Man, on Monday night, soon after the former president revealed the FBI had launched a raid on his property. The image, snapped by local media WPTV, show what appears to be a plainclothes Secret Service agent with his weapon, an automatic machine gun. As he paraded outside the property, an unmarked vehicle is also in the picture exiting Mar-a-Lago.
Huge step in a bad direction, that is for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Radar has confirmed the FBI notified its counterparts at the Secret Service that a warrant would be executed, and Secret Service facilitated access to the property without issue. The Secret Service let them in. Dude, Trump was not at home during the time. That's right, he was in Trump Tower or something like that. Was he not?
So,
do you think that there will be a perp walk? Like, do you think that you're going to see him? Because imagine what kind of flipped upside down world where, the Clintons that we mentioned, or try not to, every now and then, they get to acid wash and bleach
right.
All those emails, and then we've got. I'm just saying, look at what's going on, because they've also got the talking point where they say that this wasn't even about him. This is about you.
So what kind of security would he have had to had to not let them in.
He had the Secret Service there.
I know, and obviously that wasn't the route he needed to go. So what would be one that's
So
not...
that's a message that they're trying to send, that there is nothing you could do. There is no security. They thought Trump would go full Hitler. Instead, Biden has gone full Stalin. Even though, of course, full plausible deniability.
Does anybody remember Celebrity Deathmatch?
Yes. But still, for if you hear what... Hold on, let me pull up Jean-Claude Van Damme Pierre. What's her name? I forgot.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. Dang it, I don't think Pierre's part of it.
Why does my computer not help me?
It's not John, it's like Jean-Claude. Oh, I see what you're doing.
Yes. Now you see.
I see what you are doing. Oh, that was a funny face. Oh, that's a funny face.
Is this the one? Okay.
That's a funny face.
Yeah, it is. It's important funny face.
Is this administration weaponizing the Justice Department and the FBI against political opponents?
Peter, the president believes in the rule of law. The president believes in the independence of the Department of Justice.
That's a yes or no?
No, that is no. It's a yes or a no for you. I'm answering the question. You may not like it, but I'm answering the question, and I'm answering the question, and I'm telling you that we are not going to comment on a criminal investigation.
Look, I want a straight answer. Yes or no. Just give me a clear answer.
I'm answering the question.
The f*** you are.
Okay. So, full plausible deniability that they didn't know anything about it. They said they didn't have any idea, that they can't speak on an ongoing investigation. And they're treating him like he's a perp, dude. You know what I mean? Like they've already got something on him. Okay.
So, well, yeah, because the taxes thing was a huge deal while he was in office. Like,
the
that was a
FBI
big
didn't
one
raid
for...
Mar-a-Lago because they think they've got something on Trump. They raided Mar-a-Lago because they're afraid Trump has something on them.
Boom, somebody had to say it.
Boom, shakalaka. You know what I mean? Poor Tiff. She has like word rules that there's like a whole lot of things you can't say, and we just said all of them. So, get it out the way. Let the buffering begin. Smash a like on the video. Help us out if you can. That would be just wonderful if all of you smash the like. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. That dog Stray, it's good to see you, bro. One love, man. He said, Dave the Mace, good to see you. Yep.
I'm going to answer your question with a no comment. I'd like to plead the fifth of these constitutions y'all are all carrying on about amendments.
Yeah. The same IRS that recently bought 4,000 guns and 5 million rounds of ammo are now getting an additional 87,000 foot soldiers to terrorize already besieged American taxpayers. Imagine if Joe Biden brought this same energy to protecting our southern border.
I know you've got it in you.
Yeah, they've got a solution. They've got a solution for hyperinflation, okay? If you tax everyone more, the government can do more, and then let's see what they'll do. They're just going to make you broke from two ends, so you can't afford to buy anything, and they're going to tax the snot out of us. What? I mean, that's the point here.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is all to squeeze the very last they can out of whoever is able to be squeezed.
Yeah.
So you must become unsqueezable. No, I'm no lawyer.
I should not be squeezed.
You will not squeeze me. Yeah, no. Anyway, we're getting into all kind of slippery territory tonight.
Don't let it stress you guys. Don't let it stress you. Just be like a duck. Let it, calm on the upside. And
let it roll off your
yeah,
back,
that's
man.
Right, that's right. Take it to.
Eric Trump appeared on Hannity Monday night, where he accused the current administration of wanting to attack Biden's greatest threat.
My greatest nemesis.
Well, I mean,
yeah, no, I know.
Definitely. You know what I mean?
Obviously,
they're terrified of the upcoming voting season, and you guys just need to buckle up is all I'm saying. Okay? It's coming up, okay? You know what I mean? It's on the way, okay? And look at what's going on. Everything they're doing is in an attempt to control and sway and to, you know what I mean? And they know that they are terrified of you guys and voting.
How much more Gotham City do we get as a country?
They are terrified of your vote.
Well,
it's obvious. Just look at the news.
That's right. Well, I mean, they're bussing people in, so anyway, it don't matter. Let's just talk about all of it.
Like water off a duck's butt. Okay, that's right. A minute detail.
Hey, don't skip that.
This?
Yeah.
We
What's
did.
that one? Oh, okay, great. Sorry about that. My apologies. You're driving this boat.
A source with knowledge of the circumstances of the raid said whatever the FBI uncovered, it could ultimately lead to unsuspected new evidence in both of the investigations. However, any decision to launch a raid like this is not ever made without the full consent of the nation's top law enforcement official. The insider told radaronline.com, sorry.
Can I tell you a story?
That is Attorney General Merrick Garland. Okay? So, and I've heard a lot about, everybody's talking about Merrick Garland now, man. Okay? That essentially this dude can just make law or something like that is what I'm hearing. I don't know. You guys can correct me. I'm sure he can't. Okay? That's not what I'm trying to say. My point is that that's essentially what it's looking like, that this dude can just weaponize and go after, you know.
It's just whatever the FBI uncovered, it could ultimately lead to unsuspected new evidence in both of the Okay, so far, you know, let me tell you the story of two presidents, both of which had accusations, one about his son and one about Russia. All right, so one of them turned out to be true. One of them did not turn out to be true thus far that we know. So far that
I'm glad you bring that up because she was not expecting the question.
And also you said that the president believes in the rule of law. Does he believe in the rule of law when it comes to the former president or even his son?
I'm not going to comment anymore on both of the topics that you just mentioned. The Department of Justice is independent with their criminal investigation. The president has been very clear on that, and I would refer you to Department of Justice on those two topics that you just brought up.
Does he believe in the rule of law when it comes to the former president or even his son?
Okay. So,
this is fine.
87,000 new IRS agents. Okay. New laws targeting Venmo and other payment systems. Politicians aren't building that to go after the billionaires who bankroll their campaigns. They're building it to go after, who do you think?
But I don't like comments like that. Okay, yes. Okay, but I'm not gonna stress. Okay.
That's right. I mean, I'm
like,
not trying to stress you. I'm just showing you what I see on Twitter. Okay, that's really all that. I'm not trying to. This is not fear porn. I'm not fear mongering.
No.
You know, honestly, I've got a lot of word to get into on the back end of the show.
Yeah.
But I mean, yes, I understand your point. This is heavy. I mean, a lot of this is heavy. That's what they want. That's what this is all designed to do.
Right. Like, this wording makes me feel like the reaction is supposed to be to live in fear of the IRS. And it's like, no, it's not like that. Just do your taxes and then, you know, just carry on.
That was a great live stream silence right there.
Okay. I know, I'm like, okay, so carrying on.
Artificial Loneliness Lab, what is up, brother? Good to see you. Patriot Lady, good to see you. Sorry for the late show, guys. Sorry. I mean, honestly, we try to go live so much earlier. We really do, but, you know, life and all the stuff. The IRS will target people who can't afford lawyers.
Again.
It's the truth, most likely. Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
More than half of the IRS exams in 2021 were of taxpayers with incomes less than $75,000. Whoa. Okay.
That's the biggest part of the lifesaver.
That's the biggest part of the lifesaver there. All right. Okay. Why do you need privacy? If you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. Agreed. I'm linking these government files online that show corruption. The state. Oh no. I thought you had nothing to fear. You know what I mean? Because you were just talking about, you know, because it seems like the wording of this is that now we're supposed to be living in fear of the IRS, but ain't nobody afraid and living in, and ain't nobody, you've been there the whole time. You know?
Although I will say it suddenly seems a lot more relevant that they had just spent all that money on guns and ammo. You know, that's fine. That's fine.
And all of the federal agencies were doing it. It was like the hot trend. I mean, everyone. I mean, you know, if it was an acronym and involved with the federal agencies, it probably got a new gun and ammunition. Rainwater, no longer safe to drink anywhere on Earth. Okay, scientists say this is trending on Twitter mainstream.
So we covered this already, but they are really pushing it. Like,
and I don't know if they're
drink
trying
rainwater.
if they're trying to, if this is just some EP. I don't know if this is them trying to scare, like, maybe preppers out of, or homeless out of, collecting rainwater for free, or like, or if this is some EPA globalist climate change agenda about now how there's forever chemicals, aka plastics, microplastics, so I don't know to the, so to the preppers out there, if I have any in chat here or in the replay later, how does this affect your water catchment plans if you did happen to have any alternate water catchment plans? We're on a well. We don't have any water catchment at the moment, but I planned on getting into water catchment here in the next year. And so that seems sketchy with articles saying that it's not safe to drink.
Well,
I'm sure if you filter it, it'll be fine anyway.
Well, I was going to say, ultimately, so there are multiple, there's gravity-fed filtration systems. There's, life straw. There's, you could do, like the tablets, and so I don't know. I guess we'll have to look in further. But if it comes down to, like, not having water or drinking rainwater, I suppose I'll be drinking the rainwater.
Right. That's right. That's how it is. Dave says, distilled water great for drinking. Liza says, so from a story I read, 85+% were going to be people who make under 200K that they are going to go after. Max 9% were rich people that came out of Inflation Reduction Act, which is no good if you guys have looked into it. Of course, if they come up with a plan to help inflation, it's not going to. It's certainly, look, if it's good for inflation, it ain't good for you. That's what I've learned. A lot of these things, and I know this sounds so elementary and it sounds so retarded of me to think this way, but if it's good for the climate, it ain't good for you. If it's eco-friendly, it ain't friendly to you.
Right.
If it's good for the climate, it's bad for you.
That's right.
Okay.
Well, look, Liza just said if the rain is poison, then the ground is poison. That's right. So what is that doing to food? You know what
MLP,
I mean?
I call BS. We'd have insects, birds, fish, mammals dying at extinction level rates. It's just BS fear mongering. Thank you. Let's see. I think that's Tennessee Ridge Runner 2 Brofist, dude. He says I prep. That's awesome. And I'm praying for you prepping, man, for real.
Right.
Let's see. Patriot Lady says BS. If it's
Thorne
from the
says-
media, I suss it.
Thorne says having a water tester for particulates is also great. Yeah, that's a good point.
Good point. Unspecified V, good evening. Good to see you. She says no minerals. I think she's saying in the distilled water, perhaps.
Rainwater is not safe to drink, says Nestle.
A Minute Detail says, I just so happen to have a project build video coming up of how to make a solar still. Dude, I can't wait to see that video.
Awesome. That is awesome.
You got to drop that link when you get that going, dude. Let's see. Rainwater 100 versus no H2O. That's right. That's right. Rainwater not safe to drink, says Nestle. And do you trust Nestle? Save water, drink beer. Any hoozle. You want to read this? It's from Euronews.green.
No, I don't feel like we need to.
No, it's a fear article, man. This is to get you to be afraid to,
forever chemicals because they don't break down in the
that's
environment. Right. Yeah, so.
But I bet my Berkey filters or my knockoff Berkey filters will filter it out.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I shouldn't say right. I don't know that for sure, but they found it everywhere, including Antarctica. That was a big deal. Let's see. Dramatically, these forever chemicals have dropped dramatically over the last 2 decades to new insights into their toxicity. Yeah. Anyway, so would be judged unsafe to drink. Listen. All right, guys. Let's talk about the fluoride in the city water, and then we'll after.
Hey man, they're gonna if they're with the system and they're with the corporate structure, they're gonna laugh at you for questioning the fluoride, because at this point it has been so programmed in to whatever I guess you would call normies, that that's for protecting your teeth. But if I show you a picture in
very small quantities.
Look, I'm sorry for the abrupt tinfoilage here, okay?
Yeah, let's just get it all out in one show. That way they can just strike this one and we can carry on with life.
Okay, back in the day, if I show you an old bottle, they considered this stuff to be not good. Sodium fluoride, insecticide, poison. You know what I mean?
I believe old Jeffy Dahmer there used fluoride in some of his zombie juice.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying, and then, people under that are more controllable, which they need in the cities.
Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is not just fluoride. There are other toxins in city water, and polio, and you know what I mean? They've been doing articles, buku lately, about finding polio. Well, that's, I suppose, in the sewage, but anyway, point being that, look, when we address the drinking water, then we can look at, how judgy we're going to be on rainwater.
Unspecified V. Boiling. Heating water at a rolling boil for 1+ minute makes it safe to drink. Tablets or drops, travel size, sediment filters, fruit peel filters, etc. That's awesome. I'll definitely be letting you know, Landon. Thank you, dude. I'm definitely looking forward to that video.
MLP says, yes, Tiff. What did I say? I'm so excited. I love when I say something good.
Probably pulling out the whole fluoride situation. I don't know. We just ripped that one out.
Sorry.
It's okay, let's look that up. So, we when we want to kind of dibble dabble and stuff we're not supposed to talk about, we're just
give them the whole episode.
Yeah.
We'll just
so,
get it all out right now.
YouTube is hey, there's this bucket of stuff you can't even, and then we just accidentally trip over the bucket and
dump it
the
everywhere.
whole foot goes into the bucket, you know.
But then, our other episodes, we try to do halfway good, decent, a little bit.
We try.
Hey, God is good is trending. That's a happy.
That is a happy.
Excelente.
God is good.
Yay. Amen. Ooh,
Yeah.
I bet he is singing.
So, far-left extremists have been threatening to shut down a Los Angeles City Council meeting today to stop them from voting to ban encampments around schools and daycares. Riot police had to be deployed. Clown World.
Come on, look at that shit. Come on.
Okay.
Hey, let him go. That's fucking bullshit. Let him go.
No, let him go. 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 Yo, you don't have to do all that. Calm down. Calm the fuck.
And they all drink fluoride. I'm just kidding.
Yo, calm the fuck down.
So much anger.
So, what do you think?
I think that if they know that the majority would be against, or they wouldn't try to stop people from voting.
I mean, it's so Los Angeles Antifa militant Ricky Sergienko was reportedly taken into custody for an uprising at the city council meeting. So it's Antifa, okay, as we look further into it.
Yeah, you know what I think?
Okay, here you go. So LA, okay, this is an LA courtroom. It seems like lawless,
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and I believe, there's a certain T-word definition, and I believe it means to basically threaten somebody to sway their opinion.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You're absolutely right, guys. I mean, we're under one of the huge. I mean, that's what it has to be. I mean, I hate to be so fantastical, okay, but I mean,
don't say the T-word.
I'm not the
the resistance.
I mean, they are turning us into the enemy. They're turning normal, regular, and because they think that you've got that. So like, because you guys have the logic, you guys have the extra dough, so you guys are not sitting on your butts playing video games all day. You're worth a dang. So they know they can take from you. So they're demoralizing our values, and so yeah, there's a big flip of the script happening, and I'm praying for a massive power shift. So yeah, I hope you guys will definitely be praying with me. Because this is definitely all by design.
Oh yeah, and it's so many different angles right now. It can feel overwhelming, but don't give it that much attention. Don't hyper focus into one thing.
We need to be ready to
try
join.
to hear different points of view on a specific subject, just so that you can have more than just a.
I'm just speaking like this because clearly, we have a spiritual enemy, okay, and that has nothing to do with a human. Period. No human. I'm talking about a spiritual enemy.
Right.
Okay, and there is at the end of the day here a battle between good and evil. Okay. And one side of this country, politically, is definitely being manipulated emotionally, being manipulated financially, okay, medically, okay.
Yep.
And we got to be praying for them, guys. We got to pray for them. Not that the left is my enemy per se, but they would consider me their enemy. And I'm actually a registered libertarian.
But on a one-on-one basis, it can still be cool.
I'm just saying we got to pray for them.
I know,
because they're falling for everything.
Absolutely. And we have to pray for ourselves too, that we can be in a place
to share sandwiches and to actually and not bullets.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because if the elite have their way, they want us to kill each other. Okay, that's why they're starting wars. That's why they're leaking documents that patriots are the enemy, and that's why they're going to China they're going to Taiwan to piss off China, and we have Hollywood stars going to Ukraine to piss off Russia. Okay, and I'm telling you guys,
it feels double-edged because like I was just talking about pacifism earlier, but really love is the way, and that sounds so cheesy, but how many people do you really turn over by getting them just real mad? Do you really turn anybody's heart that way? Or do you have to kind of humble yourself and be like, okay, sure, if I need to look like the idiot, in public, if you need to be able to have that word on me, that's fine. But God will give me a word, and it will plant a seed in you, and you won't be able to get away from that long after I'm no longer in your face.
Well, I actually have verses coming up that specifically refer to what you're talking about like actually to, well, I'll wait till we get into that word, but hold that point.
Okay.
All right. So the Senate, some Democrats pass sweeping health care, tax, and climate bill in the Senate. Okay.
On this vote,
Hillary.
The yeas are 50, the nays are 50. The Senate being equally divided, the Vice President votes in the affirmative, and the bill, as amended, is passed.
Why is she laughing? Why are you laughing?
She is laughing because she is getting her way, and because she was the tiebreaker. Okay, it was 50-50.
Yep.
Okay, that's why she's laughing. She's laughing because she's like,
guess it's up
gotcha.
to me.
You know what I mean?
No, I think it's an awkward laugh. Like, okay, well, I guess I get to hold the bag. It's definitely her fault.
Senate approves climate and drug cost legislation and major win for Democrats. Hold on. I have a point to this.
Right.
Could be copyrighted. Senate Democrats on Sunday passed a sweeping healthcare tax and climate change bill that would allow Medicare to negotiate prescription drug costs. The bill approved via fast-track legislative procedure that didn't allow for a Republican filibuster.
Look at that storm. How symbolic. Look at that storm brewing above it. There's a storm coming.
She doesn't laugh, she cackles.
I cackle.
Passed on a 50-50 vote with Vice President Kamala Harris breaking the tie. She's getting her practice in.
Ugh.
Getting her practice in at the chair.
Wow, that gave me the worst cold chill.
No Republicans supported the bill. And it's not because they're a bunch of selfish Nazi ninnies, okay? All right, guys? The Inflation Reduction Act. The bill is the most significant federal legislation in history to address climate change. Okay? It will
You
also...
mean address climate change? Like, dear climate change, we're going to be taxing our people to death.
Yep.
Sincerely, the IRS.
Thanks, wind. It also gives Medicare the right to negotiate drug prices. But, I mean, the whole point of this, and will impose a significant tax increase aimed at the profits of major U.S. corporations. Oh, yeah?
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah? Sure.
Phew, I was worried.
It definitely wouldn't be small mom and pops. The bill made it to the Senate floor as Manchin and Sinema agreed to support the bill after concessions.
Hold on, wait, pause it. It's unfortunate that he doesn't have a cleft chin with a name like that.
Manchin. The bill will now move to the House.
Oh no, somebody didn't let him know. Liza says Biden also said we can't control the weather yet.
Yeah, okay. See, freedom is the climate they want to change. Okay. And your wallet, the climate for your spending,
right.
is what they want to change. Okay. That's the truth, folks. That's how it is, man. Okay, from good old Patrick Kirby.
That's right.
You should follow no one on Twitter because their name is no one.
Yeah. Oh.
You should follow no one.
Oh, I love it. So catchy. Way to go, no one.
Medicare is forcing doctors' offices to have all personnel jabbed, of course. If not, they can't take Medicare patients. So if you want to know who in your doctor's office is jabbed, ask if they take Medicare. Okay. Probably because it was a crap bill. Level 3 offender just moved into area 2 blocks from elementary school and middle in my town. Is this normal nearness everywhere these days? It is odd, isn't it, though? A lot of those certain those certain type of individuals, offenders, okay? And it would shock you. And also a lot of the recidivism stuff,
right?
Okay, that I've noticed with these Soros prosecutors and district attorneys and whatnot.
Yep.
Letting some folks that they know will repeat again.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Think about how backwards that is. If they smell that you're actually made a mistake, and that you want to do good, you actually got to go do the time.
Right.
But if they think that you'll go out and do something again, okay, because it's more profitable. Okay, you know what I mean? That's insane. All right, that's truly where are we, guys?
And I'm thinking,
that is Gotham.
Thinking about BlackRock, and I'm thinking about like all these neighborhoods that are just bloop 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 popping up, and all the people
pack them and stack them.
Yeah. So like, and people are not buying right now, so they're gonna be moving. If not,
has that bubble popped? The housing market.
And everybody's talking about renting is not either. So like, I think they're going to be placing people into neighborhoods, and it's going to be kind of a, especially for immigrants, a universal basic income, like you're here under, asylum, refugee, whatever, here's a allowance.
Right.
So anyway, I don't know. I could be wrong. I guess I should guard my mouth. And, if I'm just pinging ideas off of everybody, just.
Meanwhile, the Census Bureau has been demanding sales records from holster manufacturers, mag pouch manufacturers, and ammo manufacturers. Wonder why? Yeah, I've seen a lot of that stuff like what A Minute Detail is referring to. Hey, maybe they'll find Jimmy Hoffa. More human remains are found in receding reservoir near Las Vegas. Lake Mead has produced 4 separate discoveries of potentially decades-old remains since May as the water line continues to recede amid drought. You want to watch the video?
I do. I want to watch the video, please.
On all the people that have ever gone missing at Lake Mead. But in just the last 5 years, there have been 30 known drownings. And the harsh reality is, according to the Park Service, not all of them have been found.
It's a little eerie going out into the water a little bit.
Joseph Milo and Cole Nichols say it's hard not to think about. It's
pretty crazy.
The police activity that has surrounded Lake Mead since the beginning of May. The remains of 4 people found in various parts of the park. The results of record low water levels.
I fish out here a lot, so I see a lot of things out there. Boats start appearing out of nowhere. Eventually they come fully out of the water.
It all started May 1st when a man's body was discovered in a barrel near Hemingway Harbor. Police say he'd been shot to death and could have been in the water since the late 70s or early 80s.
They're gonna make you sleep with the fishes. You're gonna be sleeping with the fishes. Golly, in a 55-gallon barrel.
That's right. How many people have been swimming with bodies not knowing?
Right,
I mean,
that's another
reality.
thing. So, like, if you knew that there was a body in there, would you still fish?
Yeah, absolutely. But like,
no big deal though.
Because
I mean, just think if you had your own personal waterway, you know what I mean,
right?
And you knew there was a body in there, I don't know. I would
Well,
want the body
like
to be pulled out. You know?
Yeah, if it was like a pond or something small, but like this is large, I would still do it because I operate with that. Like anytime I go into the ocean, I'm like,
there's probably a body.
There is at least 1 or 2 bodies in here that I can count. You know what I mean? Like just the Titanic had, like if you want to think about it like that, and all the water is connected, even though
this
it's
close
separate.
to where all the mob and mafia,
yeah,
you know what I mean, in Vegas.
So imagine if the Great Lakes receded that close to Chicago, how many bodies you'd find
in
there.
Lake Michigan.
Right.
Wait, in 3 months, 30 bodies found.
That's right. Boy. Anyway, continue. I want to continue this news.
A week later, skeletal remains were found at Colville Bay. Then 2 more cases at Swim Beach. Once again, skeletal remains found.
Yeah, Vegas is a mob town. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I wasn't thinking about that. This is so close. Absolutely. Holy moly. I mean, the only other thing would be the fact that it's like sheer desert.
I was going to say, some of the remains are just so broken up and scattered.
Yeah.
Like, what you're finding are the remains that are still intact.
And
you might still find a lot.
In my opinion, the lake was even a risky route. I mean, you've got open desert so many places. Like, how many people do you think just get dumped, in the middle of a road 20 miles out?
Take them down to the docks.
That's right. Well, not even the docks. Just take them to the middle of nowhere. Think Breaking Bad.
I know. But I'm saying. Okay. Listen, though, man, because, like, I have a heart to go out here to the desert. I want to go out here and traverse. I need my leg. Y'all pray for my leg to heal up.
Please.
So that I can go and do some walking with my family. I want to go check all these areas out on foot. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that would be amazing.
But so the thing is like a lot of people think that about these areas. So like the mob, in my opinion, wouldn't drop them off. Because, I mean, like, how do you get to the desert? Probably through public access roads that are already there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you don't have the need. It's like, No Country for Old Men. You don't have the need to go that far out very often, unless you got a reason to. And if you got a reason to, well, then maybe you're guilty too. I don't know.
I just thought that area was full of tons of tourists and travelers.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So they take them out to the docks,
Yeah.
So that
I'm thinking of like old timey. You're right.
El Chapo did it all.
July 25th and August 6th.
Freaks me out. Like, I mean, especially like, I mean, we're walking through the mud. I mean, there's parking lot right there. We don't even know. You know?
Freddie Ramos was fishing on Saturday when he spotted a police dive team in the water.
I might give up on Lake Mead. I mean, I haven't caught any fish, and then everywhere I go, there's bodies.
And anything on the bottom, if you find it, if you're a scuba diver,
Baby, you're a
leave
little
it there.
suspect, huh?
MLP, just my leg. Thank you so much, by the way. We pray for you guys as well. My leg, the deep vein thrombosis from way back, just healing up from that, really.
He's only about a month out from a heat stroke. And it's been difficult and
just healing, y'all.
Yep.
Just healing.
Yep.
Healing. I mean, this last year was crazy for my health.
Yeah.
And so, just healing up.
Hold on. Minute detail. Vegas is a mob town. Hold on. Minute detail. The last thing I see is Vegas is a mob town. They even have a museum to it.
Yeah. The housing bubble. Meanwhile, the Census Bureau has been demanding sales records. Oh, no, that's not it. Probably because, let's see. I don't see it.
I didn't see it. We'll have to look at the playback.
Oh man. Also, if you do make it out west here, you have got to let me know. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You'll probably see it on the channel. Because I'll probably be like vlogging or something.
That's right.
If we go on a trip or something like
go to
that.
the Grand Canyon. But here's my thing. All right. When I was a child, all born in the prairies, I never really wanted to go to Yellowstone because I knew that the minute I go to Yellowstone...
You keep saying that.
I know.
I reject that, man.
That's when
we're
gonna
going,
explode.
and it's not going to explode. We're going.
Well...
I want to see buffalo. You're not going to keep me from buffaloes.
I did think that about California, too, and I was able to go visit California for a brief minute, and that was fine, even though I had anxiety.
I've never
the whole
been
time.
to California. I flew over California, going to Seattle, I think, but I never been to California, and I would love to go to.
Yeah,
I want to
really
see those
fun.
trees. I want to see those
Oh
giant.
my gosh, me too.
Were they
Me
sequoias?
No, yeah, I think so. The red.
The red oaks.
Yeah,
I
or
don't know.
redwoods. I don't know.
But this
Anyway.
this Las Vegas and the desert has now got me into a travel thought mode.
Heck
So
yeah.
Let's build a schoolie and like travel, and then we'll do conspiracy podcasts from a school bus.
That's right. Oh my gosh, we can do a story and then go to the place that the story is, at. Like, right here is where the Bigfoot was spotted.
Perhaps.
He's still here.
Lake Mead employees have advised visitors do not go looking for clues at any of the sites. The park is
California is
filled with
beautiful,
cultural
except the people.
resources that could be disturbed or damaged.
If you're worried about something and concerned that it may be associated with something else, notify the Park Service, but don't touch it.
As for Milo and Nichols, the recent discoveries are not enough to keep them from visiting Lake Mead. But the ongoing drought is another story.
It makes you almost not want to stay here, like what's going to happen, once the water's all gone, where are you going to go?
And how much more is yet to be uncovered along the ever-changing shoreline. Denise Rosh, News 3.
Interesting. I believe he had a Star of David on his hat.
Well, it was an Australia hat.
Ah, I see.
Let's see.
Remains were found in a barrel. Yeah, so anyway, continue on. I think we had another one that
Yeah, we
showed the guy that they think it was.
Okay, so now we're getting into some of the techie news. U.S. lawmakers look to digital dollar to compete with China. Okay, so they're gonna get us into a cashless based society. Probably, I don't know. I hope they don't use a war to scare us into it. I have no idea. We gotta compete with China, you guys. We gotta go digital. We gotta go digital. The Federal Reserve is considering the idea, but in no rush to join a digital assets space race. Okay.
President Biden released an executive order on cryptocurrency, laying out a new potential regulatory agenda. But the order also talked a lot about the development of a central bank digital currency. I know a lot of you are thinking, wait, what's that? Well, I'm so glad you asked. I've been following this topic for a while, and if you're thinking it's the same thing as Bitcoin, we've got a lot of catching up to do.
What do you think?
I don't think
Interested?
we have a lot of... No, not at all.
Not at all.
This is Boersville.
Okay.
Important, but Boersville. Mm-hmm.
Lawmakers are pushing the Federal Reserve to move swiftly toward issuing a digital dollar to combat steps from China and others they say could one day threaten the U.S. status as the global reserve currency.
I love your prompter 50s voice. Moving on.
Moving on. Ferrari recalls nearly every car sold since 2005 over brake fluid leaks.
Much more interesting. Ooh, do tell.
Is there more to tell?
Is there a video?
Though it's not a mass market brand, Ferrari has one of the week's most noteworthy recalls. The Italian supercar maker is repairing a problem with the brake fluid reservoir cap. Is that it? That prevents proper venting and possible leakage. It will replace the cap on every car? What? An update related software in more than 23,000 vehicles made since 2005. In fact, just 4 models aren't impacted by the recall.
Well.
Right.
If you find out there's been a recall for your Ferrari.
I mean, just think about that, though. Just to add to a little bit more of the dumpiness of 2022, okay? Now Ferrari owners are going to be... So, like...
No, I'm sorry. If you're Ferrari and, like, you're charging those prices, I better get a personalized call. Like, excuse me, Miss Tiffany, your vehicle, we need to replace a cap. We'll pay for everything. Just, come
MLP
on down.
says they're going to tax Bitcoin. That's what that is.
Tell you what digital currencies are, and in particular, central bank digital currencies. How those differ from crypto.
Doesn't that just sound so warm and fuzzy? You know what I mean?
Only the
Central
typing.
bank digital currency.
No, I'm totally tuning him out. I'm listening to the typing. Yeah. It's calming. Mm-hmm. I can handle that. All this other stuff is just wah, 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 wah.
Okay. So, I'm sorry if you have a Ferrari that's affected by this. Okay.
If you have a Ferrari, we have a PayPal in the description box.
You're
okay,
crazy.
We are not monetized, and we sure would appreciate anything.
No. Okay, but this might be... So here I have a couple of things and videos, and what it's about. We're going to start off here with Uncle Tony's Garage YouTube channel. You guys got to go subscribe if you like car content. I'm sure a lot of you guys already are subscribed to Uncle Tony. But he made this... every now and then he posts these really almost...
very insightful, like very nail on the head videos.
Yeah.
And we don't want to play too much of it because we totally want to send you over to his channel, but he has a really great point here.
Spontaneous combustion. The EV's deadly elephant in the room. The electric vehicle's deadly elephant in the room. So go over here. It's like he just uploaded this. I think this is like...
yesterday.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm just going to play a quick portion of it, and then I'm going to show more of what he's talking about.
That's right.
But you really got to go check his video out.
That's right. Uncle Tony, if you're watching this, we're sorry, man.
And you're awesome.
That's
So,
right.
yeah.
That's right.
Busts. No warning. You don't have to have an accident. You don't have to have, a problem, an upset. They just go. Why do they go? I don't know. I'm not a lithium-ion battery expert. I don't know. But what I do know is that when they go off, man, do they go off. Have you seen the video of the bus? If you haven't seen this, if you've got kids, right, and you haven't seen this, you need to watch this video. Search it right now. Watch this video. There's a bus. It's a city bus. It's parked at the curb, right? It's just sitting there minding its own business. It's not even being charged. Nothing, okay? There's a wisp of smoke, and then pow, this thing goes off like a Roman candle. It's insane.
All right. So go check his video out on it, please, if you can. Okay.
But hold on, don't we have a video similar to that? It's not that
Right.
particular
Yeah.
one.
And we wanted to show you guys more of what he's talking about,
So now, just be forewarned, this is not the specific incident he was talking about. There's one much more recent. This was a year ago.
Look, a wisp of smoke, and then boom.
Fire everywhere. And I mean roaring fire.
And they all go off next to each other, one after the other. Even the dumpsters are on fire next to it. Okay? It's just sitting there. Nothing's happening to it.
And who's to tell, like, what breathing that in would do?
And there's no time to get out if that spontaneously
right.
combusts. And these are a lot of the things that the EV industry doesn't want you talking about. You know what I mean? Or pointing at.
Well, it's just funny because the same people that are getting electronic vehicles are sometimes the same people that were talking about how dangerous vaping was. And, oh, it's going to explode in your face. Well, homie, you're riding a vape broom. You know what I mean? Like,
that's true. So, I mean, I wish we could play more of Uncle Tony's point here.
Right.
But you guys got to go check out his video.
That was a blanket statement. Let me apologize. I don't know that it's the same people, but statistics would say somebody, you know, it falls in that category.
Electric bus catches on fire at CT Transit Bus Depot in Hamden. Okay. An electric bus caught fire. I wish we had the video for that. But I think this might be one of the... But, I mean, look, even if these are separate stories, guys, we got more than one of these buses. That other one, this looks like it's maybe in...
That was a year ago. The one you just had was just last week.
In July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just to point, I mean, I have 15 other articles of electronic vehicles.
First responders outline concerns with EV battery fires. Federal Highway Administration officials and emergency responders foresee a need to prepare for large fires and crashes and incidents from lithium-ion battery-powered heavy trucks. The bigger the vehicle, the bigger the battery, the bigger the fire, so we have to kind of prepare for that, said Joe Tebow, a FHWA transportation specialist. During a recent traffic incident management webinar, he noted that electric vehicles present new challenges for first responders and a potential for electrocution from energy stored in battery packs. Some EVs have burst into flames while being towed. There are documented cases of reignition several weeks into EVs being stored in tow yards. Whoa.
So imagine a scenario where you're driving down the road with your kids and for whatever reason a battery starts to go. You know what I mean? Like in the time that it would take you just to pull off of the road, your back seat would be engulfed.
Right. Where is the battery tray located? Most common location for passenger vehicles is the entire floor pan. On some commercial vehicles, such as buses, the battery is located on the roof.
Interesting.
Okay. We're lacking our attention or our focus on bigger vehicles. I think the smaller vehicles will work that out. It's the larger vehicles that are really going to present some problems, like buses. We have an absence of standardized electrical safety disconnect locations on some of these vehicles, very little or kind of gray area direction on extinguishment. So you can
now...
So wait, because they say in the comments here, you pretty much cannot put out lithium battery fires. If they even get there in time, not a chance. Right. Because it's so violent, it's so volatile.
Right.
That
now picture these new automated taxis that are basically just a bubble you get into.
Well, what about the new...
Put your tinfoil hat on and think about, you know what I mean?
Amazon just had the Rivian electric truck company make Rivian EVs. I just saw them being towed on a truck somewhere. I'll see if I can pull that up. Go ahead.
But so like imagine, you know what I mean? I'm just saying if there were a way to control, you know, it wouldn't take very much finessing to think about a way to get to control the battery venting. And anyway, that would basically, you would be locked in. It would be terrible. But I'm sure that would never happen.
Now we have these Amazon electric delivery vehicle made by Rivian. So Amazon's going to have a big battery.
Yeah, did you see how many Amazon? Oh, no,
Rivian Amazon van has been seen out testing in California. Testing started in just a few cities, such as San Francisco.
I mean, I'm not
Los
saying
Angeles.
it doesn't look cool, but
Right.
It's expanded to other states, including Colorado and Oklahoma. Now the electric van has been spotted in Michigan.
all right, but how big of a battery, and if it did spontaneously combust, who other cars is it going to catch on fire, or buildings? You know what I mean? Especially in big,
Yep.
urban areas.
Yep.
Anywho, I have one more point to make about electric vehicles. Okay, you guys got to go watch Engineering Explained. All right, on YouTube. I'll subscribe. Why gas engines are far from dead. Biggest EV problems.
4 categories: the science, the environment, the cost, and the consumer. In each category, we'll discuss the associated challenges. Okay, so let's start off with science. From a physics standpoint, the biggest challenge currently facing electric cars is energy density. In other words, how much energy can you put into a certain space? So here I have a gallon of water. Now, according to the EPA, if this was a gallon of gasoline, it would have the equivalent of 33.7 kilowatt hours of energy in it. So in just this 1 gallon of gasoline, there is more energy than in the entire battery of the first generation Nissan Leaf. Now, times have changed. Batteries have improved since the first generation Nissan Leaf. So I found a study in 2018 that was looking at 8 different lithium-ion battery manufacturers, and of them, I looked at what was the best energy density they found in a lithium-ion battery cell. That number was 684 watt-hours per liter. So I want to provide a visual demonstration of what that means. So here we have a gallon of gas, and now what I want to see is how much space do we need in order to have that same amount of energy, but in the form of lithium-ion batteries. And we're going to do that using cans of LaCroix. Not because I'm sponsored, this isn't sponsored, I'm just basic. And so if you do the math, which of course I did, the equivalent energy by volume of 1 gallon of gasoline, you would need 139 cans of LaCroix representing our lithium-ion batteries. Now, this is more than just an elaborate plan to make my groceries tax deductible. This is wild to look at. By volume, gasoline is 13 times more energy dense than the best of lithium-ion batteries in 2018. And you might be saying to yourself, well, this isn't really that fair of a comparison visually because all of the gasoline is tucked away in one nice little convenient spot, whereas the lithium-ion is spread out in all these individual cells. But that's kind of the point because gasoline just goes into a tank and it just sits in one spot. Batteries are made up of thousands of individual cells, which aren't that space efficient. So keep in mind what we're looking at here is the volume required for just...
It's a good video.
Yeah.
It's a good video. You got to Engineering Explained if you care. Okay, it's a really good video. He makes an excellent point. It's about a 14-minute video, and I feel like I learned something.
That's right.
And I want to encourage you guys to go and look this up as well.
Sidebar. I can't tell if he's 19 or 45. The gray speckle hair really throws me off.
Well, it's not.
Why are you laughing?
The point, you know what I mean, is, that, I hope you guys go watch this because it was a really good point.
Yes.
And
okay,
I don't
good
want to
point.
take the guy's thunder. The dude has a really good channel. He put a lot of
Yes.
effort into his content, unlike us.
Please scratch my gray hair comments. Some people really like that.
But let's see. Okay, so we covered that. Okay, we covered that. Where are we? Okay, you get the point. Okay, ionic EV
This was in Korea.
catches fire on Jeju Island while charging. Okay, and so when was this? Who knows?
This was just to further
The point that that this is not. GM offers Chevy Bolt EV owners $6,000 if they promise not to sue over battery fire recall fiasco.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's just, I just want to point this stuff in your direction because I think it should be on your radar.
MLP says Tiff's on fire tonight. No pun intended.
Yes,
Tiff
is on fire.
Because of the fire jokes.
Yes. Sorry.
It's funny.
Well, I still think you're on fire.
Thank you.
And I think that this is important. My truck is a manual. I'm not trying to flex. I'm just saying that there is the end, they're trying to end the manual, the end of the manual transmission.
You know what? Good riddance. That's what I say. I never understood your cranky little butt anyway, okay? Always jerking every time I'm trying to go.
This article was featured in One Story to Read today, a newsletter in which our editors recommended a single must-read. Okay, I don't know why I read all that. Sorry. All right. I'm sorry. I drive a stick shift. It's a pain sometimes. Clutching and shifting in bumper-to-bumper traffic wears you out. My wife can't drive my truck, for instance. Okay, in my case, which limits our transit options. It does. It does. My wife cannot drive my truck. Okay.
Even if I could drive manual, you got all kinds of, you got to kick it here and tickle it here and press a little button right there. And
yeah, my clutch operates real high. And when I'm at the wheel, I can't hold a cold, delicious slushy in one hand, at least not safely. But despite the inconvenience, I love a manual transmission. Me too. I love the feeling that I am operating my car or truck, not just driving it. That's why I've driven stick shifts for the past 20 years. The streak may soon be over when it comes time to replace my current car. I probably won't be able to get another like it in 2000. I'm sorry. Is that a typo? In 2000, more than 15% of new and used cars sold by the auto retailer CarMax came with stick shifts by 2020.
No, he's saying back in 2000, more than 15% of new and used cars sold by the auto retailer came with stick shifts. By 2020, that figure had dropped to 2.4%.
Right. Okay, you go ahead.
No, I was just, because I was like, what do you mean, 2000? Why'd they say? But now I get it. Among the hundreds of new car models for sale in the United States this year, only about 30 can be purchased with a manual transmission.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Electric cars, which now account for more than 5% of car sales, don't even have gearboxes.
Right. They're direct drive.
That's right.
Electric. I mean, they have excellent torque. I love the funness about the electric cars, but they're so expensive. And if you actually drove them and had fun in it, you are degrading the heck out of your very expensive batteries.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
And if they die before your car is if they degrade to such an extent before your car, I'm saying that the people are going to roll over in these cars.
That's
but
right.
They're not going to admit it to themselves or others that they actually don't have 200 miles on their car anymore.
Right.
That they only have about 40 miles on their car now. Okay. Right. Because their range will become limited. And so if you do have an electric car out there, okay, you need to baby it. You know what I mean? And never let it go below 50%, and never really try to floor it or overwork it.
That's
you
right.
know what I mean?
That's
If you want it to last as long as possible.
I would suck it up and learn a manual for a Hilux or for a wagon. What was that wagon?
Listen.
The really expensive one.
The G-Wagon?
Yeah.
I'll never get the one, but if the Lord blessed me with one, I would not turn it down.
That's right, of course.
But a Hilux, they didn't really sell those in America. I mean, you can get them,
that's why
but in America, they're called Tacoma.
No. I think it's different.
I think you would love a Tacoma. I need to show you. It's the same thing.
I learned how to drive my
it's literally the same thing as a Hilux.
My driving school, I learned how to drive in a brand new Tacoma, and I loved it. And I was like, oh, this is, I want this to be my first vehicle, this little truck. It was perfect size for me, but the hatchback called me.
My mama says those EVs are not going to survive Minnesota winter. That's
right.
Good enough reason for me. That's true, and that's another thing. Think about that. You wouldn't believe how many people I've heard in passing say that, in those northern colder climates,
right?
People that try to vlog, they'll be like, my batteries don't last. They get sucked out.
Which means either the cold doesn't do good with batteries, or you're super haunted. So one of those is a problem.
I think that they're going to be trying to work this stuff out because, look, I think that even if an EMP hits,
that's right.
that if you have a manual, depending on how new it is and how, if you have an older manual, like an older mechanical.
Can't manuals automatically push start though? Not automatically, but can't you always push start a manual?
I think so.
Also,
that's
always
right.
An option.
Right.
Cool.
That's what I'm really leaning on. Okay.
Right.
Even if my battery's dead, you push it down a hill and dump it in second
That's
gear,
right.
and you're
That's
good to
right.
go.
Or have a backup solenoid. And
right.
metal can.
But we don't really know that would be the thing.
No
because
clue.
solenoids are hydraulic in some cases, or
strictly pulled that out of War of the Worlds. So
World War. No.
War of the Worlds.
War of the Worlds.
Yeah, that's right.
Watch out. Facebook's new AI can tell lies and insult you. So don't trust it. Warns company.
All right, well, that's it. That's the line.
Right.
It's now been crossed.
Meta has realized the Blender Bot 3 chatbot has released, a chatbot. And that's what AI is. It's a language model that's supposed to be advanced in response. You know what I mean? At taking in data and giving a good, coherent response.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But I think they've gone off the rails now.
Yeah.
So,
they can tell lies and insult you.
It can talk about virtually any topic and learns from conversation, but the company has warned it might not always tell the truth.
Yo, this is definitely reminding me of Chappie, like him trying to be like, Chappie has stories, but he was trying, like he was trying to learn the vernacular used amongst the group he was in,
That's right.
And so, that's what this reminds me of. So, if it can tell lies and insult you, that's part of some cultures, just the talking,
Right.
Insulting and things like that. So, anyway.
Facebook's new artificial intelligence chatbot could write insults and lie to you, the company has warned. Meta's Blender Bot 3 chatbot has been released to the public for users in the U.S. to try out. The company claims that its AI can search the internet and chat about nearly any topic. It's even been given the ability to self-improve and learn how to communicate better through conversation with humans. However, while the bot is designed to help Meta make better AI-based conversational systems, the tech giant has also admitted that it has a few behavioral problems.
Yeah.
Now, compare that to the whole Google leak. The guy, the what is he? That guy that was working with the AI.
Mm-hmm.
He says that it's sentient, that it knows that it's AI, and that they fired him and put a gag order on him, or something like.
The bot's comments are not representative of Meta's views as a company and should not be relied on for factual information, including but not limited to medical, legal, or financial advice.
I wonder if it could identify what my name actually means.
The irony.
Never trust anything AI. That's right.
That's
MLP,
right.
That's the main point.
Did you know that there's a city called AI in the Bible?
You were telling me about that earlier.
I was telling you about that earlier.
I need to hear more about that, for real. All right, so switch gears.
Yes.
Why Amazon's dead grandma, Alexa, is just the beginning for voice cloning? This is some Black Mirror type stuff.
Yeah, for real. Hunger Games, like the sparrows, or your loved one's screaming.
Dead grandma?
The evolution of text-to-speech technology is bringing us closer to convincingly human-sounding voices. Earlier this summer at the Mars conference, an Amazon-hosted event focusing on machine learning, automation, robotics, and space, Rohit Prasad, head scientist and vice president of Alexa AI, aimed to wow the audience with a paranormal parlor trick, speaking with the dead. While AI can't eliminate that pain of loss, it can definitely make their memories last, he said, before showing a short video that starts with an adorable boy asking Alexa, "Can Grandma finish reading me The Wizard of Oz?" The woman's voice that reads a few sentences from the book sounds grandmothery enough, but without knowing Grandma, it was impossible to evaluate the likeness. And the whole thing struck many observers as more than a little creepy. Ars Technica called the demo morbid, but Prasad's revolution of how the trick was performed was truly gasp-worthy. Amazon scientists were able to summon Grandma's voice based on just a 1-minute audio sample, and they can easily do the same with pretty much any voice, a prospect that you may find exciting, terrifying, or a combination of both. Boy, sure makes video, voice recordings worth a little bit less for evidence. The fear of deep fake voices capable of fooling humans or voice recognition technology is not unfounded. Period. End of sentence. No need to carry on.
In one 2020 case, thieves used an artificially generated voice to talk a Hong Kong bank manager into releasing $400,000 in funds before the ruse was discovered. What?
What? We should go in an Airbnb with you guys. Yeah.
Haha. No AC, one heck of a heater, and a flat 8 miles per gallon. Parked it about 8 years ago on a non-op. Need to rebuild the top end. Speaking of cars, you can get a Hummer for around $4,500. Those are no frills vehicles. I like to think that, like, you guys got to check out my last video before this video, our solar video.
That's right.
If you can get to like halfway through, there's like a little bit of my truck in it where you can see it. But I like to think of my old Ford is like it's a Frankenstein, okay? But in my opinion, it's like a civilian Hummer. Like, it's very boxy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's very reliable.
It matches you even with the mustache.
You can be hard on it, slam the door, and...
Speaking of Hummer, though, what's that kid you watched that just went back home to Tennessee?
I can't remember that guy's name. I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember his name.
Kind of like building his Hummer, turning it into a camper Hummer.
The only thing that worries me about getting a Hummer is the parts availability. But I love how the wheels stick out further than the bumper, so that if you approach a wall,
can crawl.
Yeah, it can crawl stuff really good.
I was trying to combine camper and Hummer, and I was never mind.
Sorry,
We'll
guys.
just stop there.
This is some like major no-go zone. The grandma.
Yeah, that freaks me out.
I don't like Amazon reading to children.
I don't either. There's this machine that like comforts your kids if they wake up in the middle of the night so they don't have to wake you. But it's like, what? Look, I love sleep, but that's selfish.
To what?
To not be willing to wake up with your child and in the middle of the night. Just, I don't know, like we're wanting a robot to comfort your child instead of you.
Creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But convenience. That's always how they...
Well, it'll be convenient to put your butt in a nursing home and take the robot home. She won't need her butt changed.
Amazon drones could see directly into millions of homes after major iRobot deal.
Okay, that's all I need to hear about that. Continue.
Amazon is buying out iRobot, the company that makes Roomba, for billions of pounds. It will not only give them robot vacuum cleaners, but a huge amount of data on the interiors of users' homes.
That's right.
So imagine that. Like, what other products will Amazon eventually buy that has more, interior user data? You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. Something like the Xbox Connect that has those, like, whatever those dots that go out all over the room, and you know what I mean? I have no idea.
Right.
Not that they're buying, that Bill Gates already owns that. That's Microsoft.
Okay, so that's right, MLP. I'm so sorry. I'm still combining hamper Hummer and a camper. So your options are a hamper or a cummer. So probably the...
What do you mean a cummer?
Well, like that's your options. If you combine Hummer and camper, you either get hamper or...
A hamper. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I think that's a good one. Sorry. Close the blinds.
What blinds?
Mystery as abandoned Boeing 737 suddenly appears in the middle of a field in Bali. Suddenly appears in the middle of a field.
I know.
How do you... wait, no. Video or it didn't happen.
That's right. Now they're like, okay, well, there's an airplane in the middle of this field and we don't know how it got there. But that's not the same thing as saying it suddenly appears. All right? Is this the beginning of Lost or isn't it?
It looks like it's been there a while.
Yeah, that's what I say. So they're like, suddenly appeared. Somebody needs to go to Google Earth.
Wait, something can't both be abandoned and suddenly appeared.
That's right. Hold on, wait, where is it? The large plane sits in a limestone quarry near Raya. Okay, pull this up on Google Earth. We're going to investigate. Let's do investigations.
Okay.
Raya Nusa Dua Salatine Highway, not far from Pandawa Beach. Okay, all right, so you Google Earth.
Okay, that actually pulled up. Let me pull this up right here. Okay, now we will...
I feel like Miss Frizzle. We're going on an adventure.
Crap.
Okay, no, just look up Pandawa Beach. Pandawa. Beach. Yeah, there you go. Indonesia. Okay.
They're like, we know what you're
Pull
up
it
to.
over. And then we're looking for a playing field. So let's see here. And what was the other option? What was the other investigation that gave us? It was plane sits in a limestone quarry.
Are we really about to try to find?
Yeah, I'm curious. How long ago? Because look, this thing. Is there a limestone quarry? Because look, they're like it suddenly appeared, and I think that maybe it's been there. And Google Earth has been.
Is this a limestone quarry?
Psh, maybe.
Temporary closed. Sorry. I think I found the limestone quarry. We've gone off the rails. I don't know where it is.
No, this is way fun. I'm so inquisitive. Okay, scroll out a little bit more. That might be it. That sandy spot right there, perhaps.
What? Which one?
Yeah, that one. That big one. Oh, to the right here. No, that's.
I see one over here too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't see a plane.
I don't see. Is that a plane?
Oh, those are a bunch of equipment. Suddenly appeared.
Anyway, so planes appearing. So let's see here. Look for the Raya Nusa Dua Selatan.
We looked.
Highway.
We looked.
Fine.
Oh, there it is. We found it.
Said to have had
Magic cool bus.
there and reassembled on site for a tourist.
Exactly.
attraction.
A minute detail. Is that the missing Malaysian flight? That's what I was thinking. You know, that's what I was thinking. The aircraft has become a tourist. It's not the only retired Boeing 737 on the island. Oh, come on. See, this didn't just suddenly appear. I'm out of here. This is not some kind of, you know.
You got me once, Jade Hobman, but never again.
Scientists are investigating gigantic energy jets that shoot up to space.
Now that's interesting. It looks like a tornado on top of the clouds. Isn't that interesting?
A recent gigantic jet of lightning shot up 500 miles into space. A phenomenon that scientists are just beginning to understand, which I didn't know that lightning worked that way. Y'all ever heard of that?
Mm-hmm.
Ground lightning? What? Lightning strikes can be exhilarating and terrifying sight to behold from the ground, but what's wilder is that these intense bolts of plasma sometimes powerfully erupt in the opposite direction, zigzagging up into space in dazzling displays known as gigantic jets.
Ooh, very scientific.
Now, scientists led by Levi Boggs, a research scientist at the Georgia Tech Research Institute, have described the strongest gigantic jet ever seen, which sprang up from Cloud Top in Oklahoma that darted 50 miles above Earth's surface, where it delivered the largest charge transfer to space on record.
Well, then what happened?
Whereas most lightning bolts carry fewer than 5 columns. I'm sorry, is that the right?
Coulombs.
Yeah, a measurement of charge. This jet transferred a gobsmacking 300 coulombs to the ionosphere, the low end of space. So wait, hold up. What do you really think this is? I mean, I've just never heard of this. Thank you.
Yeah.
Somebody's got a video on it. New information on gigantic jet. Low light WATAC camera video footage of the gigantic jet captured from Holly, Texas. I thought they said it was Oklahoma.
Well, this is a different one. This one's from 2011.
Holy cow.
It's much older.
Is it aliens? Joe, is it aliens?
No.
Okay. Is it HARP? Oh, you're not supposed to say that one. You get in trouble for that. Wish they had a better name. Yeah, exactly. Than gigantic jet. Like wizard lightning bolts or something. You know. seems a lot more. I don't know what we're looking at here.
Appropriate.
I'm sorry. I just saw this and I was like, yeah, that does look like some kind of wizard lightning bolt type.
It does. It's like a storm on top of a storm.
Ha! I have the power. You know what I mean?
But it puts things into perspective if you think about like, they're like the firmaments and the waters beneath the earth, and like, I don't know, it puts it on layers. I have a tendency of thinking that, what I can see is the only plane, but like there's waters below the waters,
Right. Earth is spinning too fast. The consequences for timekeeping may be unprecedented.
No, we got into this before. We really don't even have to read this, in my opinion, because we talked about the shortest day.
We're just saying, it's in the news again.
Right.
Okay? They're saying the Earth is spinning too fast or something. Okay? Thanks, CERN. All right? I just wanted to say that again.
Right.
Okay. I don't know what you're doing, and I don't know why.
But I will say, look, as far as presentation, this was the best article. This was way better than the one we had last time on the same subject. I wish we would have gone with this one. Way more grabby, catchy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. Miami is tearing itself apart over bonkers plan to move homeless to island.
No way. Is there a video?
It sounds very Lord of Flies, or what was that? Where there's a bunch of, they're going to have their own government. I mean, I don't know. We talked about this. There is no video, but
no. On Thursday night, it seemed there was no more exclusive place to be in Miami than the District 7 Town Hall Zoom chat room. As local officials, scientists, and advocates spoke during the 1-hour conversation, Miamians were furiously typing their thoughts on what has quickly become the biggest topic of conversation in the area: the under-the-radar approval to pursue a pilot program for a homeless encampment in Virginia Key. This will be a bigger mistake than the Metro rail system, one commenter posted in the chat over 200 residents at 7:10 p.m. While the full effects of the niche insult can only be enjoyed by anyone who has suffered through Miami's illogical two-line rail system, it speaks volumes about the public sentiment around the plan to erect up to 100 tiny homes on a historic barrier island with a stained racial history.
Ooh.
The encampment plan has spurred outrage from every type of Miamian: environmentalists who are worried about destroying the island's already endangered ecosystem, outdoor enthusiasts concerned about ruined recreational activities, and homeless advocates sounding the alarm about the lack of infrastructure in the area.
Please, hold on. I'm sorry. Lisa Palmer says, we're going straight to alien invasion. I'm only prepared for zombie apocalypse. and then MLP is like, remember when they said the earthquake in Chile knocked us just a tiny bit off our, I think, axis?
Yeah.
And how it would have catastrophic consequences? Nothing happened?
Except for the earth spinned up now. No, just kidding.
Right.
No, don't worry. This was totally talked about.
Alcatraz isn't big enough. I don't know. I think this is crazy. I don't know. I think you're asking for trouble.
Yeah. Why am I always off screen now? Just because the way that our room sits, we would have to move the...
She could be on screen. You're right there.
Shut up. No. I'm further than that. Can I be further than that? Dude. I'm here in spirit.
We used to be on screen.
Sometimes
and I wanted her to be on screen, but,
Anyway, well, the full
we're
effects...
We're going to put her on screen.
No! Anyway, so enthusiasts are concerned. The only people that aren't concerned is anybody worried about, the safety of actual human beings. But everybody else present and accounted for, which could leave
one
relocated
dude
people.
actually gets a fish, starts a fight, and then, you know what I mean?
No, more like one dude gets a fish, another dude eats that dude and the fish. You know what I mean? It could get really bad quick.
Yeah, I don't know. I pray for these people if this happens, even if it doesn't happen,
So look, homeless advocates sounding the alarm about the lack of infrastructure in the area off Rickenbacker Causeway, which could leave relocated people without transportation, sewerage, systems.
It's like
and even access to
Trailer
food.
Park Boys. Searage.
No, but this is terrible. This is terrible. This feels like a social experiment. Like, if you get a whole bunch of people who have nothing to lose
Mini
together
purge
and
light.
put them on an island,
Yeah.
what will happen?
All right, gentlemen, we've given you backpacks with 3 days of supplies, machetes. Don't use them on each other.
Yeah, like on the Sound, there's a hut with weapons and food. On the Sound, you can run to it, and that's it. Bye.
Ugh. Wow.
Anyway, Oprah, oh, wait, hold on. Not to mention that Virginia Key is just yards from two of the wealthiest neighborhoods in the city, Key Biscayne and Fisher Island, a members-only island. Oh, that doesn't sound bad at all. Anyway, members-only island,
Does
only
anybody-
accessible by a boat, whose former residents include Oprah Winfrey, Derek Jeter, who's that? And Mel
Miami
Brooks.
Hunger Games.
That's right. Ooh,
Miami Hunger Games. No, wait.
ooh.
Does anybody remember this old movie called The Pest?
Yes.
Where
Yes.
this dude, does he get kidnapped and then he becomes hunted by this billionaire or millionaire?
I like to party with my peeps, cruise the streets.
What?
Play something with these crazy peeps. So low to the flow, picket pockets like a bitch.
I don't know why this is reminding me of The Pest.
Yeah, well, because that was very much the thing. So, like, he was picked up as a pest for this elite person to hunt.
Right.
And he ran amok. It was, I don't know, was it an island? It might have been. And, like, this whole time he's like, this is crazy, you know? And
Right.
Anyway, I know that whole thing. I just need a minute.
Well, anyway. Okay, so new data suggests our fundamental model of the universe is wrong.
No way.
And scientists are racing to solve it.
That's my favorite part about science is that it's like so open-minded. Like every
Trust the
5 or
science.
10 years, like a rock or like a turd will be found that just completely rewrites everything. And I just really appreciate that about science, you know, because like, I don't know, the Bible like is just so unchanging, you know, like it just stays the same.
Well, yeah, that's the good thing about
Right. I'm of course being
you know.
satirical, but let me just spell it out in case somebody didn't pick up on my eye rolls.
Right. Well, you know, trust the science, right? We live in a strange universe filled with the unexplained. Let's see. So, what was their point? I don't know.
Science has been, like, history is different now because they discovered a thing.
Right.
No, I don't know. But that did happen not long ago. A rock was found, or I don't know. Every time they find a human that's more than a couple years old, or I don't know.
Let's see. So there's like 2 measurements that are something. I think that they got real screwed up down here if you read, because that guy posted that picture of the chorizo.
That's right.
I'm just
Now people are very cynical. And I was just thinking that. I was like, you know, it's not a chorizo, but kind of. Like, it's not far either. We're still red and circular here. We've got some, I don't know, areola fascinations, I'm afraid.
Right. Anyway, we are going to move right on. Look.
Oh, speaking of areolas.
Oh, no, that's terrible.
Sorry.
Okay, so we won't read this, but I just wanted to post this. They're like promoting sexual healing, okay? Which, guys, warning, all right? That's like legit not the way. 10 ways that you know what gives you lust for life. Look, lust, not good, okay?
Right, that's no bueno.
From boosting your immunity to managing pain. That's really odd because we go to the book here, and in 1 Timothy it says, but she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth.
That's right.
You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
So it's like, whoa, you know, like careful, because now they are straight up. There's a bunch of distraction and
That's
tricks
right.
out there, and there's like, they're going to be like, there are proponents. There are people, if you get into
right.
researching, that they do sexual magic and stuff like that, and that's stuff's not good,
Right.
man.
It's
like,
ironic to me that feminists aren't seeing kind of, well, I suppose this isn't the time, but like it just ties into me that they're trying to promote this hypersexualization, but really they're decreasing the value of a woman. You know what I mean? Like, and not saying that a woman's value only comes in sex. I don't mean that.
Right.
But I'm saying by making the woman impure, by, you know, so really pushing this whole men can get pregnant, really pushing this whole men, men can do everything women can do. Well,
Right.
then why, you know what I mean? And so then what makes,
Right.
I don't know.
Or
so.
they, just even like, I don't know, they put a prioritization on, that kind of, pleasure being some kind of satisfaction measurement on their life. You know what I mean?
Right.
When like, that's, man, you got to get that under, I don't know. So I don't know. Just wanted to put that there.
That's right.
In Proverbs, speak not in the ears of a fool, for he will despise the wisdom of thy words. Okay? That's why I wanted to drop that, because of what you were talking about earlier. You know what I mean? What?
What about wisdom fleeing from you when you're...
Well, just that, like, in some instances, if you're dealing with someone who has their mind made up, like we were talking about, arguing with folks,
Yep.
Well, you do, like, that's, and you were saying turn the other cheek, and that's right. You don't want to, he does not want us to do anything out of rivalry or conceit. So, we don't want to fight with folks verbally, you know what I mean? Especially like, or to provoke. He doesn't like provocation. He doesn't like you provoking people to being angry or annoyed, you know what I mean? So, and to also not waste your time on someone who's got their mind made up.
But ask for guidance, because you know what I mean. If God wants,
and that doesn't mean that you can't still pray for them.
That's
if,
right.
If you want to still reach out to them, but at the same time, if you're dealing with someone, so like when you try to preach in the street, you get dealt, like a lot of spirits will come, and different like folks will show up very vile and mean to you, and like eventually they'll start calling the cops on you and saying like you're disturbing the peace by preaching on the street, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And so like, and some of those folks, before they get to that stage where they're calling the cops on you, they'll try to argue and they'll try to tear down your gospel or something and fight with you, and that's my point. So like when it comes to speaking to those folks, that to be warned, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Speak not in the ears of a fool, for he will despise the wisdom of thy words.
That's right.
Preserve my soul, for I am holy, O thou my God. Save thy servant that trusteth in thee.
Amen.
Psalm.
That's right.
A farmer too lazy to plant in the spring has nothing to harvest in the fall.
That's right.
Proverbs. Again, I got a lot tonight. Buckle up. The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. And that's what I'm praying for. You know what I mean? Because like I said, in these times, earlier I was talking about, especially in these times, it's really easy to get distracted or fall under attack.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
You gotta reach out to Jesus. I mean, you have to call on him. And I'm not selling nobody Jesus. I'm telling you what I do. That's what I'm saying. Because a lot of people say that you're either selling this or you're selling Jesus. I heard somebody say that, and I was like, oh my gosh. Like, folks think that if you talk about Jesus that you're selling him. I'm not selling Jesus.
I'm not selling
I'm trying
him.
to give you my account, what I do. I lean on Jesus when things are getting hard and I don't know what to do, or
But isn't it interesting that even people who are very spiritual really want to assign a secular reason for why things are happening? Like, oh yeah, I had a really bad day today, but it's because I did this, which sure, but like I think it's difficult for people to realize when they're under attack spiritually.
Big time.
And
because it can happen in a mood, and
that's right.
Or different stuff. You got to be careful about music. There's a lot of power in music.
Yep. And so to me, like, how are you gonna fight when you don't even realize you're being attacked? And teaching kids too. If you grow up teaching your kids that there's a secular explanation for the reason that well, then they're gonna look for secular answers to everything. But the answer to this world, the answer to our problems is not secular. It is spiritual. It is in the heaven.
That's right.
God and Jesus are our answers. And so if we're not taught to cling to them when things are going wrong, to just do our secular part, that makes it a lot harder.
Or,
so.
you think about it where it's like, do our secular part, or like not helping someone, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like seeing someone on the side of the road and just keeping on going. That's that secular part, you know what I mean?
That's true.
And a lot of people see that person and feel kind of like I want to help.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
right. And then I excuse away. Well, I
That's
got the
right,
kids.
that's right.
I got the kids
There's
in the
always
car.
a reason.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
It's raining.
And and one of my buddies, my buddy who is a sheriff's deputy now, I bring him up all the time. I always say that. But I don't know. It's just a sense of, I don't know about pride, but I'm proud of him.
Right.
Because he told me the story. We were on vacation, remember? And he told us that time he helped that dude on the side of the road who was pushing a bike. And so, like, he didn't want to give him money, not to be mean, but to be like, I can't give you money, but I can help you. What's wrong with your bike? Because it was a little, like a bicycle with a motor on it.
And he's a whiz.
And he is a small engine whiz.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, and it was
like
just...
Sling Blade.
ain't got no gas in it. No. But, yeah, he took the dude to the gas station, put a little gas in it, cleaned out the carburetor, changed the oil.
That's right.
And
the dude was biking. Like, he
right.
didn't have a car, and he was biking from Texas or Louisiana up to, like, Oklahoma for his kid's birthday.
Right.
On a bicycle.
Right.
And so, like, our friend took him, I think he took him 50 or 60 miles or something, but it was like a day's, it shaved time, and it was in a storm.
Right.
And it took him to the shop to get his bike fixed. So, like he was a blessing to that man that
and
day.
then dropped him back off on the interstate, and the dude actually had a running bike to take back off on the I mean, I don't know how far that little bike got him, but,
That's right.
Anyway, so we'll move on to the next one.
Good job, Duck.
Good job. Good job, Duck. O Lord of hosts, blessed is the man that trusteth in thee.
Amen.
Psalm again.
That's right.
Behold, the days come, saith the Lord God, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord.
Heavy. Wow. I have not heard that before. Wow.
So sorry, this is a lot of verses. Well, I don't mean to be apologizing. I'm just saying that, if you weren't expecting this, I apologize but this is like 2 days of me seeing, 2 or 3 days of me seeing verses. So that's why I have a big collection. And my God will supply every need of yours according to his riches in glory in Christ Jesus.
Amen.
Philippians. Rain and snow come down from the heavens and water the earth, producing seed for the farmer and bread for the hungry. It is the same with God's word. So get in God's word and read, which I need to listen to that too, which, I need to be reading more. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked. Whatever one sows, that will he also reap.
That's right. Vengeance is the Lord's.
That's right.
That is right.
Galatians.
So pray for your enemies, because what you know what I mean? Like, you responding to them is the least of their worries. God sees what they're, you know what I mean? God is witness.
Let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up.
Amen.
Galatians. Amen. So, that's supposed to be an encouraging,
That is.
For a lot of you, you blessers out there who are out there blessing folks, and helping folks, keep it up. Keep it up. Letting your sinful nature control your mind leads to death, but letting the Spirit control your mind leads to life and peace.
That's right.
Good advice. Good news. Praise the Lord, who is my rock. He trains my hands for war and gives my fingers skill for battle.
Now that is, stand on that. Amen. Trains my hands for war. To me, that is saying, like, when the time comes, if I need to have it, he will bestow it upon me.
That's
you
right.
know?
O Lord, you are my refuge and my shield. I have put my hope in your word.
Amen.
Psalm again. Seek the kingdom of God above all else. Live righteously, and he will give you everything you need. Matthew.
Amen.
Be gentle and show true humility to everyone, which is a big reminder for me. consider yourself less significant than others.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yep. I think that is easier for females to do. But, well, it used to be at least.
Pipsqueak. Pipsqueak! There she is. Okay. All right, folks. Well, that's about the end of the show. And let's see. What do you guys? God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardships as the pathway to peace, taking as he did. The thirst is here now. Amen. Fear not. Well, anyway, we love you guys, and thank you so much for hanging out with us.
That's right.
And we're praying for you. And please keep us in your prayers.
Yes.
And don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged. You know? Because we definitely know it can be easy to be discouraged. Yep. You know?
Yep.
So we love you. And hey, we'll see you guys on the next time. On
That's
the next
right.
one.
Have a good evening.
Good evening, guys.